Hello everyone and welcome. In the previous video, we actually discussed about the main difference between workflow and agent, and also we understood the core concepts of state, nodes, and edges. In this video, we're going to build very simple application in LangGraph. If you see the application, user actually enters the input information like I'm not happy with the services and would like to get a refund. And this particular line graph will actually categor- categorize that particular email body as refund, and it will give the response back as we have received your refund request. If the user submits one more query, I have network issues, can you help with that? And it will classify that as a general, and it will draft the response as we have received your message. It's basically, if you look at the end-to-end flow of this particular application, it takes the email body and it will understand if there is any refund inside of that particular body. It will classify it as refund. If it is anything other than refund, it will classify as a general, and it will give the response back to the user. For this particular application use case, we are not actually using any LLMs. It's a simple keyword matching technique just to build the first application as simple as possible so that we can extend later for that. First, we'll open the folder and we will get the virtual environment created. For that, let's open python dash env. So first we will create the virtual environment. Once the virtual environment is created, the second step is to install LangGraph here. Now the virtual environment is created. The next step is activate the environment. For that, .venv forward slash scripts activate. Once we activate the environment, we need to install LangGraph here. To install LangGraph, pip install LangGraph here. Now the LangGraph installation is completed. Now we can actually install one more step, which is CLI, LangGraph CLI, which will actually help us to view the graph in the user interface. So we'll install the LangGraph CLI as well. So while it is installing, well, we'll set up the another folder. This is about application one, and we will actually create a new Python file. There's kind of scripts.py. Once we create the scripts.py, if you go back to the line graph again, we see this. So we got three different concepts here. One is states, second one is nodes, and third one is edges. If you look at the nodes and edges, first primarily we have start node. The start node connected to classify email via an edge. Classify email node connected to draft response via an edge. Draft response connected to end node via an edge. Right? Now we understand the node is a small computation, as we discussed earlier as well. Classify email is basically takes the input as an email and it will classify it as refund or general one, and draft response is based on the whether it is a refund email or a general one. It will draft that particular response back to the user. So as we discussed, node is a small computation unit, and edges will actually connect the flow from start to classify, classify to draft response to the end state. So now we understand clearly the nodes and edges. The edges are now currently very simple because it's a linear flow, but going forward we'll add some complexity so that we will have a conditional edges and things like that. But for this particular first application, we will keep it as simple as possible. And the other most important concept that we have here is state, right? So state, as we discussed, at any point of time, what we are actually going to store in system is called state. If you look at, there are three states defined here. One is the email that we receive from the customer. The second one is the category of the email once we classify it as a refund or general one. And the third one is the response itself. What's the response that we're going to send it to the customer? So that's why we got three different states, which is email body, category, and response. Now we understand the states, nodes, and edges. We'll build this entire things in LangGraph. So as we discussed here, we got two different nodes. One is classify email and second one is the draft response. So first we'll create these nodes as small methods. So we got two different methods for the two nodes. One is classify email, second one is the draft response. So classify email, which will actually take the email, right? For the classify email, it will take the email as an input, and then if it is found the refund keyword inside that email, it will actually return that category as refund, or other cases it is a general category. If you see the draft response, it's again a small computation again. If you look at it, it will accept or input it as a category. If the category is refund, the response is we have received your refund request, or else other cases it will be going to we have received your message. It's basically the differentiation between refund or other cases as well, just keeping it very simple. So what we have here is in LangGraph, we got two different nodes. One is classify email and second one is the draft response. For that, we created two different methods. One is classify email and second one is the draft response. Now, what we are doing is we are actually importing from LangGraph state graph start and end nodes. And then we will start building the graph here. The first one is builder.stateGraph and then support state. And then we can see we are actually basically building that entire graph. First, we're actually adding the node classify email. Second node is draft response. So these are the different nodes that we have. So we are actually adding just classify email and then one is the draft response. Now how we actually connect by using edges, right? So if you look at the edges, builder.add edge, first we're actually starting with the start node, and then we are connecting the start node to the classify email edge, and the second one is classify email to the draft response via an edge, and then third one is draft response to the end one, which is basically building this entire structure. So now we actually created the nodes, small computation units, and also we connected the nodes by using edges. Now we need to maintain the state of the application, right? As we discussed, we got three different states. One is email, second one is refund, third one is the response that we are drafting. So for that, I'm using typedict to store it as a dictionary for now. I'm adding one more import, that typedict import, and also I'm defining the support state as and then we can see I have added email category and response here, and I'm actually passing the same support state to different nodes, right? So that it can have basically, like as we discussed, state is like, given point of time, what is the information that we are actually storing inside the system, and then how we're actually passing that information between the nodes so that it can fetch that information and perform the other calculations that is required, right? So now we have state as well. Now we have the nodes and edges. We define the entire graph. So we will have one more line, which is basically graph equals to builder dot compile, which will actually compile this entire graph and then builds the graph for us. Now we actually completed the entire nodes, edges, and state as well. Now we need to see this application in UI. So that's the reason we will add one more step, which is a JSON format, which is basically a langgraph.json file. Let's add langgraph.json file. In that, we need to define the where the support graph is defined actually. So let's add this JSON here. So we got support graph inside the scripts.py. So we need to add the scripts.py here. With that, we completed the three core concepts and also how we can actually view that in a UI component. To run the graph, we use the command langgraph dev. I'm running one more application in the same port, so that's why this error is. Let me close the other one and run here. Yep. Now we can see here it is started running the application in this particular port. So we can go to langgraph, this one. The issue is with I didn't actually provide the application one folder or directory name and then scripts.5. So now I'm adding that one. Let's get this running. Yeah, now I cannot see any exceptions and it is seems to be working. Yeah, now we can see what we have actually built. Again, nodes, edges, and then we provide an input saying I'm not happy with your services. Can you refund my money back? And then if you that's the email that we received from the customer. If you submit that, so what's going to happen, because the email it has refund here, it is classified as refund, and it after the response is we have received your refund request. If the email consists of I'm not able to connect to the network, could you please help me with. So in this case, again, if we submit this, because it doesn't have any refund in the email body, so it will actually classify it as a general. So based on what we see here, so if it doesn't have any refund, it will categorize as general. If it is general, the response that we are going to send back is we have received your message, right? So if you look at this one, the response that we can see here is we have received your message, which is correct, right? So suppose if you want to have something with the payments issues or anything, that will even classify as general, and it will give the same response back to us. So in a nutshell, what we actually discussed in this particular video is we have gone through the basics of state, nodes, and edges, and how we can actually create a simple application in LangGraph. We haven't yet connected to the LLMs yet, but just keeping the application as simple as possible for the first one so that we can understand the core concepts. Now, the next video, we will connect to the LLM and see the responses here. Thanks for watching.